Alrighty, hello, welcome. Okay, I'm gonna do my little spiel. I think. Oh, that's right. I think I gotta change the. I forgot to change the title. Okay, give me a second. Let me change that real quick. Yes. I always forget that. It used to auto update, and now we don't get auto updates. And then I'll do my spiel. And here. And voila. There we go. Good. And every time I start streaming, got my dog in the background. He just starts like pushing his bowl around because he wants the attention. He's like, "Why are you talking to no one?" All right. Here we go. Update everything. We're good. Okay. So if you are watching on YouTube after the fact or whatever, I am Ashley. Hi, nice to meet you. I do creature and character sculpting just for concept purposes on this stream. So it's like I treat it sort of like ZBrush, like for this stream purposes, anyways. Like I treat it like a sketchbook. So the same way that you would just kind of open up your sketchbook and just start doodling something, it's kind of the same thing. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit more. Like I already sketched something out, and I did a poll on Instagram and on Twitter to ask like what people were interested in doing, and looks like let's get this in here. Actually, it looks like we are going to be doing the dragon. Open her up. Put that guy in here. Make it smaller just so that we have it in the corner somewhere, maybe down here, maybe down. We'll just like make it a little smaller just so people can see what I'm doing. Right down here. There we go. Where's the opacity? There we go. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing this guy, which I concepted, just for like the August, the August drawing challenge, which is Smogust, which you just do a bunch of dragons based on some prompts for all of August. And this one was the prompt tectonic, so I decided to create a sort of mountainous lava tube type dragon, and everybody kind of it was quite popular. So I think this is going to be interesting to sculpt. This is going to be a lot of rock sculpting, man. Everybody loves rock sculpting. Hi, Detail. Hi, Spear. Hi, Grim. How are you guys doing? Yeah, so we're going to get started. And if you're interested in any of that stuff, you could always go to my socials as well, as where I post everything. But for the big version, maybe I'll just give my like Twitter just so you guys can see what it is that I'm doing. Copy the link. There you go. So if you're interested in seeing the whole thing, there you go. All right. Alrighty. So let's get going. Just again to preface for anybody watching after the fact that you're looking for a specific tutorial, this isn't that. This is just like a sketch session. So I'm not intending this to go into a game specifically or a film specifically or anything like that. It's literally just, we're just having fun and sketching. If after the fact, of course, you like your sketch by, working in this fashion, you like what you're doing, you could always refine it to optimize it for a game or animation, whatever it is that you want to do. But in this case, we're just sculpting. Yeah. Okay. Right. Gotta take off samples. So if you have any questions as I'm going, feel free to ask. Let's go get rid of spotlight projection down there. Okay. Start with the head. It's going to be a very interesting sculpt for sure. I'm going to pull this stuff down and get like the jaw in here first and foremost. Whoops. Do you know what's funny is I've been doing a lot of like teaching in ZBrush lately, and so I've been working in vanilla, and I've completely like I'm looking for things in like the vanilla way instead of actually just using my UI. Whoops. I've got my Pure F open as well to get some like lava rocks and stuff. I think push that out more. I don't know if anybody else is doing Schmaugist, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you like dragons and everything, you know. But also, like, why wouldn't you like dragons? These ones. I'm not gonna open its mouth fully. I'm also not gonna close its mouth fully, just so that I can see how I can get this same silhouette it's working with. Hi Arthur, how are you doing? I'm working on this guy. My inspiration for the teeth was kind of like mole rat, and same with like the claws. I'm actually gonna have like so much fun creating like the lore for all of these things too. Like there's the next one that I'm doing is cephalopod. I just haven't had time to like really dig into it yet. But that one's gonna be really fun. Got some good ideas going for it. Yo, what's up, Leonard? How are you? I didn't want to appenderinos, some cylinder. Really quite a bit out. I'm gonna do a dynamesh on this, like a low dynamesh, just to get it started. And I'm gonna give it a curve too. I'll probably, so I was thinking like maybe I'll do it, I don't really want to like hand sculpt all of that, so I might do tiered pieces, but I'll just get this in place anyways. Okay. Let's get another one. This is like bend, this is bend curve, by the way, in the deformers, if you haven't been using it. Very useful. And it just totally covers his eye. Maybe not as much of the... Let's actually just keep it pretty simple. I think I like that a little bit better. Just like a simple curve. And then I'll give it a taper and stuff. So let's say accept. Trying to get motivated. Been too hot, dude. Yeah, I understand. But I guess you're in Cali, right? Even here, it's been like wicked hot. What are you trying to get motivated to do? Finally got one of my directs on time. Yeah, welcome. Welcome. And then this guy, it's kind of got like a double horn going. 2 lava tubes. Go sugarless and the heat doesn't bother you. If only it were that easy. If only it were that easy. I don't eat a lot of sugar. Still bothers me. If only things could be that easy, though. Actually, like, pull these out more. It's very, like, I did, like, a very, like, rounded silhouette here. Like layered tubes. They all converge onto one thing right here. Get in there. And then this guy, I think we gotta go with like a thicker head. Yes, gnarly. And then I'm gonna take both of these guys and shorten them a bit. They don't need to be that long. Open them up. Your weather widget reported 109 Fahrenheit, but it said only only. Then, well, I hope that you're finding a way to cope. That is no bueno, not fun. Okay, right in here. I'm gonna give this guy a little bit of a dynamesh. Actually, maybe a little higher. Make these tubes, because you got interior mouth tubes too. These tubes are used to direct lava flow to help him digest the rock in front of him as he digs. How to freelance as a character artist. So for me, like, I worked in a studio first, so I got most of my contacts from like networking in studio. But you know, if you're not doing that, I hear a lot of it is visibility online, posting on LinkedIn, you're doing, etc., and then reaching out to people with like your skills that you can offer said studio. But a lot of what I do is in actually like in animation. like the animated shows and film. Pull that guy up here. This is do I want to figure getting this? I'll have to edit this draw a little bit. This snow. Yeah. Hi Eagles, how's my eye? It's good. It's good. It's nice and stable. My hospital visits have extended to every 2 months, which is fantastic. It's good. You know, going from like just like not even a year ago of like weekly visits to now 2 months. It's pretty awesome. Hopefully it keeps going that way. The weather is hot. In fact, I might want to turn the AC on at some point because it's hot. Can you cheer you up right now? I saw a funny joke. My friend Steven sent me a very funny joke. Steven Anderson. He also streams on this channel. Here's a good one. Let me get it. Okay, so Lance is an uncommon name nowadays, but in medieval times, people were named Lance a lot. So lame. It got me though. It's a good one. Grown. I don't know. If you don't like puns, I feel like you're a little dead inside. I mean, we're all a little dead inside, right? But if you don't like puns, it is. It's very Steven. He's great. Sing. I'm not singing, but I can tell you happy birthday. I'm not singing happy birthday to you. Your ears would bleed. And I would cry. You used to work together? That's sick. That's awesome. I think he's streaming again this he's probably streaming again this month. Big chonky body. From last weekend for 10 minutes. Hey. Any minutes is good minutes, right? Gotta have like a big barrel body. You're going to have that through like this. Paul DZ posting more. He comes back to streaming. Yeah, I haven't seen him stream in a little while either. I think everybody's kind of been taking a little bit of a break. Like I didn't stream for like a month, and then now I'm back again. Just need a little bit of like a chill, just a chill factor. Hell yeah, dude! Go hang out together. That'll be a vibe. A vibe. Yeah, I guess everybody's in Cali. I'm just out here in Canadianas. It's not true. Not everybody's in Cali. I had lunch with Ian. Oh my god, look at you. You're Mr. Popular right now. I had lunch with my dog yesterday. What's up, Farman? How you doing? What's my favorite part of streaming? You want to start, but your social anxiety is destroying me. Okay, so Eagles, when you are, so I have quite a bit of social anxiety as well. But the awesome thing about streaming is that you're like, maybe there's like so many eyes on you, but you're never thinking about how many eyes are on you. Like I'm never thinking about how many people are like looking at me. I always like, as much as I know everybody is their own individual person, I'm still just looking at chat. Right? Like I'm looking at text. So it's like you're not seeing the eyes. You don't have to worry about eye contact or anything like that. It's fantastic. So that's great. I love that about streaming is you can be so social without like worrying of other people looking at you, even though they are looking at you. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like this mental like break, I guess. But my favorite thing about streaming is definitely just like being able to create stuff and then talk about what I'm creating at the same time. Like that's really fun. Like if somebody's like engaging with your work and you can engage back. And also just like the satisfaction and like pride you get from like teaching something to somebody who is asking for help. I really enjoy teaching things. So I think that's all kind of there with streaming. I also feel like since like I started streaming like years ago, it's helped make me a better artist because it's like you're multitasking, and so you kind of have to like think like hard about what it is that you're focusing on with the work that you're doing on the stream. I'm gonna have to fix these shapes right here. Just gonna get all of this stuff in area. Do you guys mind? I need to turn my air conditioning on. It is getting hot in here. One sec. One second. Sorry. Super jank setup for that. It works. You can convince everybody to finally fly out and visit. Love to have lunch with Monty. Would not. You wouldn't be able to see him. You would not be able to see him. There ain't no way he would allow that. Specifically because Monty does not he does not like new people. New people scary people. And he will bark at you until he's blue in the face. There's nothing you can do about that because he gets really scared. Stranger danger. He also has social anxiety, you know? You feel? He wouldn't love you, trust me. Just gotta trust me on that, man. You just gotta trust me on that. I've had lots of people do the Dr. Doolittle types on me, and I'm like, nah, bro, yeah, you dogs must love you. Not mine. Not mine, bro. Just gotta trust me. Especially because, like, we've, like, for, you know, the amount of dogs that I've had in my life, they usually get over their fear period when they're in puppyhood. But with him, it just kind of kept worsening no matter the amount of socialization we were doing with him. So we went to a behavioralist as well, and he actually just has anxiety. Like, he's just literally has anxiety. Some dogs are like that, especially herding breeds. They can be extra anxious. And he is a herding breed, but he has extra anxiety. It's okay. Oops. Beep, beep, beep. You have a cat. Yeah, I mean, like, just like people, right? Like, every animal has their own little quirks and things. Like, some of them are really happy to socialize. Some of them would really rather just be on their own. Can't expect all of the animals to operate exactly as you want all the time, right? Just the way that it is. My boy, he likes to be with his people and chill in his room and occasionally go on little adventures. But even adventures, it's like he taps out after a while. He is cute. He is. Yeah, Jasper. Yeah, I can tell Jasper wants to make friends with everyone. It's actually really cute. I really liked that picture where he was just like hanging out with the mascot from the sports, whatever sports team you were watching. No, I drew this. I drew this. I designed him. You can go look. You can look at the full one there. I put it on ArtStation too, but yeah. Yeah, I guess that's like something, I guess I don't talk about that. I also draw and paint. It's just kind of something that I've always done. And I'm doing Schmaugist now, which is dragons for August. Dragons. Next one I'm doing is Cephalopod. I'm so excited to do that one. These act as lava chutes and kind of like shovels as well. If you want to know, like, because I guess like I didn't talk about like the lore here with this, is there are villagers nearby that occasionally report a disturbing level of seismic activity every few decades that completely destroys their village. So like every couple of decades they have to like rebuild everything, and it's very stressful. So they found that it's actually this sleeping giant that kind of looks, when its wing structures are closed, it looks like a mountain, and it runs like volcanic activity also happens, but usually when it's sleeping it's not much of a problem for neighboring villages. It's up in the mountains, it's like just tucked away. Occasionally though, because of the cracks in its wing structures, when it closes over top, people can wander in and awaken the beast by accident, which is not good, because then the village is destroyed again. And the only way to really get this thing to go to sleep is to offer lots of metal, because it feeds on metal, and it just feeds and feeds and feeds until it needs to hibernate again. But it feeds via digging for these metal deposits, so it's been completely destroying the mountain range near it over the last like few centuries. And so it's just kind of like digging with its four claws and using the structures on the front, like its horns are basically these big lava tubes. Same with the wing structures, are kind of like lava tubes, and while it's digging, it's expelling like molten hot superheated rock to superheat the rock in front of it as well, and then it's eating that and then expelling it back out, anything that isn't metallic, and it's just kind of creating like these big trails of destruction as it's getting all of this this metal and trying to get enough of it to go back to sleep, right? So if the villages are able to scrounge up enough like armor, maybe like they're selling off everything that they had, working at neighboring villages, etc., just to get enough to buy armor plates and things like that to give it to this dragon to go to sleep, then that's what they're gonna do. I like making lore for my dudes. I also, on all of the design sheets that I'm doing little writings, like little write-ups too. So wait, here, let me like bring it up. Let me bring this guy up in here. And whoops, there we go. So I'm doing like little writings and stuff, so you can get an idea of what it's doing. Little scale, night for scale, kind of an idea. Are they gonna change the channel name to Maxon or something? I don't think so. I think it's probably gonna stay like this, but I don't know. Feed it hooks, yeah. Yeah, I'm a concept artist / designer / all those things. So this is just a call out sheet really quick, just a rough design sheet. I can show you the electric one too. So this is what the other option was to do. This one was really fun as well. This one was based off of the the prompt voltage. And this one basically reacts in in storms, like in swarms. And they kind of act like chained batteries towards each other. So it's sort of like a rubbery texture with like a film over top of everything to help conduct the electricity downwards through its tail. And I'm using the night guy as that's the scale. You're just like these little tiny things, and they act as a swarm to create areas of like they're just going to be like zapping like lightning, but they're actually just a swarm. So I have those on my socials if you're curious of following the other ones that I'm going to be doing. So the next one that I'm going to do is based on like a cephalopod. That one's going to be really cool, and I have an idea that it is living so far anyways, the idea before I haven't drawn it yet, but the idea is that it's living in like this big salt channel, and it's like a trench, like a giant trench with like salt cliffs, and it blends in with its environment. So it's almost like Moby Dick style, but like a giant squid type dragon. It's gonna be really crazy. For me anyways, it's gonna be something really fun to design. Hi Warrior! Thanks, thanks J-Zone. I am a doer of good. Sometimes. Sometimes. Okay. Let's get some basic wing structures. This is going to be sort of like really rough, I think, because the wings are going to require a little extra finesse to make them work. But I'm just going to get the overall, like just the idea of them anyways. I don't want to do it like that. I'm going to want to do it sideways. So they will, let's see. Yeah, they come behind. So this thing can't fly, by the way. They're wing structures. They're fake wings. They're not wings. They use them to like cover itself and go to sleep. 3D prints? Oh my god, dude. I don't have a 3D printer. I tried so hard to figure that out. Like, not that I when I say figure out, I know how it works. But understand, like, in my apartment, trying to make sure that I can actually vent it properly, because I don't think a lot of people take 3D printing serious enough for your health. Like, it's not good to have in enclosed spaces if you're not venting it properly. So I really want a resin printer too. So even like FDM, like that's like that would still be like VOCs, like plastic. It's literally burning plastic, so it's going up into the air. But that's not as bad as the resin is. And I'm just like, I want to do resin printing, but I don't have the, like, it's just not feasible. Like, even if I had it in here and vented, my dog is in here a lot of the time too with me, and it's just not fair to my dog, right? And so maybe if I move, I'll do that. And then maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's also about like the quality of the print as well. The reason why I would want to go with resin is quite literally because of the type of quality that you can get. Because like, you know, you print with like the plastics, and it ends up being like you can't get that like super fine detail. And a lot of the work that I have is it really is reliant on that fine detail. So I just like, I know you guys can print stuff. So I still, like, I did put up that mask. I'd have to, like, clean up a lot of the things that I would be making. I know, Evan was, Evan, if you don't know who Evan is, he's a really good sculptor as well. He was offering he was offering me to print the Hellfire Sculpting Club dragon that I did as well. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I feel like that's gonna eat up his resin like crazy though. So kind of an insane sculpt. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to be a little bit more active, like with my stuff, like, you know, public posting, like even sketches and designs and stuff. Woo! Too big. I'll just like, I'll sculpt these things in, I think, first, and then I'll separate everything into their own chunks afterwards. So I need to like create like the space of like where the tube is even gonna go. So we'll just put that there for right now. I'll fix it in a second. Let me just get everything in place and then I'll start moving it around. This is kind of like a big boy, you know? Lots of pieces. Maybe it'd be kind of crazy actually if I did enough of these dragon designs. If I did enough of these to like do some sort of like a print book or something would be kind of neat. Probably want to like change the like page layouts and stuff though, but I think it'd be kind of cool. I have so much free time these days too because the industry's kind of like how large do you want to print the dragon? Oh, do you mean you fell off finishing? It's okay. You don't have to finish the masses. It was really cool though. Like what you ended up doing with it anyways was really cool. A couple of people printed the masters. Somebody else on Twitter as well. I can't remember. Resin printing. And it's really cool how many details you can get. I think you printed it on the Saturn 3 Ultra. Yeah. How large do I want to print it though? So the one that I did for Hellfire Sculpting, I think it would be printing like maybe like it would you know, there's like a set size that they had set for everything. That isn't on screen. You're right. The heck? I'm back. There it is. I had the wrong one selected. Thank you. I totally like. Oh, I didn't have the bottom bar either. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ZBrush. I'm sorry. It would be really cool. I'm gonna see. I have to get back to him. I saw he DM'd me offering that, and then I just spaced, and then I forgot to reply. But I'll get back to him, see if he wants to try to attempt, because it's kind of an insane sculpt, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me try and find it. Where did I post it though? Oh my god, where did I post it? What the heck? I don't even remember. Okay, I can probably bring it up from here. That's a shame. I need to put it on my socials actually. Totally forgot to do that. But the dragon that I'm referring to right now that I did was this one. This it's kind of a lot. I don't know how, that's a challenge to print that and make sure that the tiny pieces, they'll probably have to be inflated just a little bit, or you're gonna have to do some very delicate support work. Very delicate. Yeah. How do you manage the meshes in ZBrush? What do you mean? Like it gets out of control for you too fast? A lot of the time when I'm like, dealing with really high resolution geometry, I'm, splitting things out into different subtools. If things start getting like really like nasty like this, I don't really care that much, because I'm just going to hit Dynamesh up here and it's going to look at the, sorry, gotta click on it. Oh no, it's gonna Dynamesh to high res. Oh no. But yeah, it's that's too high. 5 million. Oops. You gotta lower the resolution, and then you can Dynamesh it, and then it'll just give you like sculptable topology, right? Like it doesn't really matter. So I don't really care if the mesh looks like this, because you're just gonna Dynamesh it, gives you sculptable topology to work on. If it's too high res, start splitting stuff off into subtools, and yeah, that's how I manage it. Is just keep re-Dynameshing and splitting. How many hours do you spend sculpting per day-ish? Well, some days I just don't sculpt, some days I just draw, but every single day, almost every single day, I'm spending at least like minimum 2 hours doing some sort of like art. If it's something for work, then it'll be at least an 8-hour day. Sometimes when I'm crunching, it can be like a 16-hour day, but it really varies. It depends. But I try to do at least something every single day, right? Even if it's just like gesture drawing or something like that. If you need, you can make it printable. That's one thing you used to do. You'd be happy to help you. If I have issues, I will reach out to you, Leonard. I know there's so many, like, I actually really appreciate how much help people are offering to give with the 3D printing stuff. It's also one of those things where like, oh my gosh, the expense, like it would just be pretty expensive to have, like I would be doing a lot of printing, I'm sure. I need a shed. Okay, it's actually this too high res. I think I'm gonna grab the entire thing. I'm gonna make him smaller. Sometimes you need to do that because your dynamic brush scale is like not working and the whole guy is like too big in your scene. Okay, I'm also gonna take this. Let's give this a lower resolution. Really big barrel body. I'm looking at what I was doing in like the 3/4, right? So there's like a little bit of a curve that comes up like that, meaning that the chest, I designed it to be quite large actually. This one right here, to give it room for like the arm to move backwards. The push out would be underneath like that, which is what I was assuming for this guy when I was drawing him too. Kind of wondering actually if anybody be interested in like a drawing stream. I like drawing too. I just don't ever draw like on stream. I mean, for these are ZBrush streams, so it wouldn't be on here. It would be on my own channel, but What's up, Bubbles? What do I think about? Okay, I gotta catch up with the chat. Sorry. Yeah, my profile picture is of Monty when he just destroys sticks outside. He's like, he displaces all of his like anxiety onto the sticks. He's destructive force. How do you merge the meshes in ZBrush? So if you're going to merge anything together, you can come over here into the subtool palette, come down into merge, and you can do merge down, you can merge visible, or you can merge similar. So merge similar is going to merge everything that has the same topology. Merge down, just going to take the top one, merge it down, and then merge everything, like merge visible is just everything that you have visible. So if this is on, like the eyeball is on, that means it's visible, and it will merge all of that into one subtool. In which case, then you can connect the meshes using something like Dynamesh, or you can try doing something with the gizmo. With this little gear, you can use remesh by union, and remesh by union will take anything that is intersecting together and create a connected seam with those pieces as well. If you don't want to Dynamesh things for whatever reason, you might be working with different use cases. What do you think about AI getting implemented in the game industry, and how will it affect job opportunities? So that's something that's being fought right now very hard. Well, the VFX industry was already like up in arms about that with the film industry, SAG-AFTRA, the unions. Right now, the animation industry, like the Animation Guild, is fighting against AI implementation as well. I think in general, what it means for entertainment as a whole is a degradation of quality, and art forms turning more into product and only product, looking past it being art, because again, art form comes from like the people working on it and that care and passion putting into it. Whereas if you have like these ideas and images, etc., being generated by an algorithm that's not a person, even if a person is going over top of it, it still loses an aspect of that human touch. So that being said, there's also ethical issues as well, where you're displacing a lot of people to do to do a worse job. There's like videos on this that are a lot better at talking about it than I am, but essentially it's not good. It's not good. I think to be a good artist as well, I would highly recommend you try not to reference AI. I understand that some of the images can look very appealing and pretty, but on an ethical side of it, all of that is being ripped off from artists like me, others in the chat, etc., like everyone online. Like no one consented to having their artwork used in these algorithms, and it's a very tired argument at this point, so I'm not gonna fight anybody who tries to say otherwise, but we did not consent to that, right? So ethically, not great. And then on the other hand too, AI is just not, like, it doesn't understand physical objects, it doesn't understand the real world, it's just overfitting noise of one image over to another image. And so it's not really like, you're not getting real world reference when you're looking at AI. And so you could be learning fundamentals that are not accurate to what real life is. I would highly recommend looking at real images, like real life things, rather than AI itself. So in that sense, as you're a working artist, you're trying to improve, try not to use AI, I think would be your best bet to improving. And there's nothing wrong with just continuously trying to improve too. Like, I don't think it's all doom and gloom when it comes to like this AI stuff. Like the unions are like really fighting against this, really like tooth and nail. And I think it's something that everybody should care about fighting. Just don't use it. Just don't use it. And then in the workplace, though, how I feel about it in the workplace, like, I mean, not great, but like I was saying, people are looking to create more profit, right? They're looking to create like a product over anything else. CEOs are looking at their bottom lines. How can I save the most amount of money and make the most amount of profit for myself? well, let's cut out even more workers, because you think about a salary of an individual like artist could range at the lower end of like 40,000, which is unfortunate, but like 40,000 to something like, you know, 150, 200,000 for like leads, etc. So if you're cutting these, that's saving you, you know, cut 10 artists and tell the rest of your team to just use AI, even though it's not great, and then expect them to do even more work. It just doesn't make sense, right? Because like, it doesn't make sense, but they're saving money, and the amount of work on the people that are still there in these positions is going up as well. Even though AI is being implemented, there's still a lot of like work that needs to be done on top of it. So it's kind of like, in that sense, it's kind of backwards as well. You think AI is future. I mean, so that's also a very tired argument, because AI has been in our pipelines for a very long time. In film, AI has been used in like lots of different programs, your phone, etc. AI is like something that everybody uses every day. Different like machine learning, right? The difference is image generative AI is, it's not the same. And that I don't think is essentially, like, right now it's not doing so good, especially if you look at like the stock market and stuff. It's not making the returns that everybody thought, like, we're being told it was going to make. So a lot of the ooh and awe and wow factor is just kind of, it's kind of dying. There was a little bit of like a bubble pop too that happened. So if you're ever curious how, like, you know, the world is feeling about things, you could always just look at the money, right? Yeah, they still can't do retopo because here's the kicker: they need a lot of data to make even a little bit of it work. Like just to see a generative, like the images that you can do with like something like Midjourney or OpenAI or whatever, they have been just completely scraping the entire internet, and even areas that they're not supposed to. There was like some lawsuit apparently that started because there was like scraping of like Netflix and stuff that's happened as well. So it's like there's a lot that's going on in terms of legality as well. So if you're not even sold on like, oh, I don't care about ethics actually, like, okay, weird, but okay, sure. If you don't care about all of that, then legality speaking, there definitely is law breaking stuff happening. Hey, attentive, how are you doing? Yeah, I find that it's a total scam at this point too. Like, who knows, maybe in the future it turns into something like, I feel like at this point they would have to completely scrap all of um the the models that they have built off of all of this unethical data. They'd have to scrap all of that and then rebuild new models with actually like, okay, we opt in, not by default, but we manually choose to opt in what information to like volunteer to them to actually make any of this like, but it wouldn't work that way because they need that much data, so much data. They're actually creating synthetic data in order to make this work. And it's taking up so much energy per generation too, that like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Money. further as well. Do something like that. I toggle through my brushes way too fast. Yeah, it's a 1 through 0 on my keyboard. That makes it like really easy to just kind of switch through things. Do I sketch in Photoshop? Yeah, I'm trying to like use Krita a little bit here and there. It's pretty cool too. How many brushes are main brushes? Like, which brush do you use the most? So, when you're first starting in ZBrush, you don't really need to use as many brushes as like if you press B, it's just like right. Like you don't need to worry about that. Just try to maybe use like the clay buildup, Damien standard, like some sort of like trim dynamic brush, an inflate, and a move brush. That's pretty much like your main go-to. This one doesn't need to be as like high up. Oh! I'm sick. I've been standing this whole time. Okay. No, I actually haven't been working a lot lately. Like, you know how we've been talking about AI and stuff? Well, it's not just that that's like messing up the industry right now, it's also the economy. But yeah, it's not been super great out there in terms of new work, so not really much that I can talk about. That's why I'm like, okay, let's fill my time. Let's do some like dragons. Let's do some dragons. Table like that, it's great. It's so enjoyable, especially if you've got like a lot of anxious energy, or you know, you're a very jittery person, and I find, for me anyways, like standing while I do certain things, certain tasks, especially like more repetitive ones, helps me out a lot. It helps me to focus. Also, it's also good for you, so you're not constantly sitting. I mean, constant standing is not good for you either, so bury it. Bury it. Push this guy in here. We're gonna give him an actual chest area. Take this. This. And this one too. We'll have to be a little bit careful here because these. Okay, we could use like a thick lava underneath to create this attachment right here. They cook. Yeah, well, that's what I use instead of like the move brush, right? Very shiny forehead today, don't I? Look at that. What the hell? It's not even like sweat, it's just shiny. So weird. Distracted me. I sounded like the viewfinder. I was like, what the hell is that? I did, because it's like right in front of me. Shiny. The same dog? Yeah, he's the same guy. It's the same guy. It's your Monty. Are you able to do many styles, like cartoon, stylized, and realistic? Is it hard to switch styles? Yeah, I do a couple of I mean, they all kind of like look like my style, but I do cartoony, and then I also do more realistic, and then it kind of like blends in together as well. Because the thing is, like I said, I mostly work in the animation industry. Like, delete this. And a sphere. Ah! My gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this whole guy up here. So anytime I append again, it's not gonna be an issue. It's in here. Well, a little closer together. Yeah, yeah, I do too. I also just I like doing multiple different types of things, right? Like, I don't like sticking to one. Like, I'll get tired of it, and so I always want to like try new things. So if you do end up following my work on like any socials, what you're gonna notice is sometimes I'll post like sculpts of like stylized stuff. Sometimes I'll do something more, a little bit more realistic, but not like hyper real. I'll never do anything really hyper real. And then sometimes I'll be doing like drawings, etc. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I think his snout, we gotta make this like a little bit longer. Worst reputation with the controversy around the light. Yeah, I know. There's like, I don't think it's enough to make everyone move to alternatives because, again, like professionally speaking, a lot of people have their workflows already established in something like Photoshop. But if you're just doing drawing and things like that, like Procreate is already taking like a lot of artists. But like, you know, again, these are like, because I'm on the Maxon ZBrush channel, these are my opinions, just not ZBrush's opinions. These are Ashley's opinions. Ashley's opinions. Yeah, I'm gonna work on the head area for, I think. Oh my god, no, but the hands though. These hands be looking, I think, a little bit too big. Tonight's, yeah, my opinions. Don't we all love my opinions? I am a very opinionated girl, aren't I? Only on things that I understand, though. Things that I don't understand, I refrain from having an opinion. Wow. You know when ravens or crows, like mostly ravens though, they kind of they talk. Oop, come back. They talk. They sometimes they go gua, and I love it so much. If you've never heard a raven make like a gua sound, you have to go right now on YouTube and go and listen to ravens going gua, gua. Makes me very happy, and it will make you very happy as well, guaranteed. Gua. How do you spell? Gwah. Gua. I don't know. Gua. I know. I love hearing them speak. Same with like Sterlings or Starlings, or I can't Starlings or Sterlings. I can't remember which is. They have like this like robot. It's so freaky. It sounds like there's like some weird mimic talking to you, but it's cool. I love them. They're so smart. Getting trained and move your whole business sounds too expensive. Yeah. Yeah, I think some studios though, depending again, because like they're looking like a lot of CEOs, they try to like move their bottom line as well. So there actually might be, again, opinions. I don't really know, but there might be some studios that try to move to more freeware things because then they don't have to pay more money, right? Make more money, pay less money. So that could be a thing. In France, it's Gua. It isn't Gua. What do your ravens have like a C instead? They don't do G. They don't go Gua. Hi Prashan, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, Rodolfo, I didn't even see you there. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you're still here. Hi, how are you? That's my bad. Oh, thank you for appreciating the concept. Okay, let's see this horn area right here. I have not been to Mumbai, no. Thinking this needs a little bit more of an interesting curve to it. Okay, let's solo this guy's head out and work on this. Right. Yeah, I think I'll like pull this whole jaw outwards so it goes straight right here. And then this guy on the inside. I'm gonna push this inwards. I need to get like that skull shape going. And we have more coming down. So I'll push this. Yeah, okay. So I'll push this down. Make room for a little bit more of a jaw. Or a cheekbone kind of like cut through. Your brother is a god with ZBrush. Although he doesn't like the texture section, he uses other programs. Yeah, I mean, so when it comes to like doing anything with like textures inside of ZBrush, I use it like predominantly for like bases and stuff, and you could go and bring your sculpt or your final model into something like substance. So like poly painting and things like that, I will literally just use it as like a base and then bring it in to another software to finish it out. But poly painting is good to just kind of have available inside of ZBrush anyways, so that you can get like a general idea of colors. I'm going to split the bottom part of the jaw off from the top. Straight up here. I think that's good. Let's do a split, masked. Now, here I'm going to hide these horns. Where's these horns? It's horn 1 and horn 2. I'm going to put them into a folder. Horns. So I can start to organize these a little bit better. Okay, so now these guys right here, bring that outwards, because what I'm thinking with these teeth is they operate similar to like you know those burrowing mole rats and stuff, but on like a big scale. So they would use like these big chompers right here to cut through the dirt. Guy's bite force is at least 5,000 pieces. It's like it's pretty intense. It's pretty insane. If he's eating rocks, I think that's probably pretty insane. Like I don't want to deal with this guy. I feel like though you're probably fine. Like he doesn't, you know, he's literally just out here trying to eat some rocks. Like you existing in his space doesn't faze him. Will quite literally just eat rocks, and you're just gonna have to deal with the constant like shaking and volcanic activity that's happening, which will probably kill you. But that's just a consequence of him just existing, you know? Like he's not out here being like, yeah, screw all of these humans, screw these villagers. He's just like, I want to eat rocks, you know? Like he's not malicious. He's just hungry for rocks. I gotta make sure that this guy is where it would be, maybe right here. So if we close that real quick. Let's make this functional, shall we? So we can close properly. Maybe not right there. Hold on. We want it to operate. Wait, let's try something else. Let's maybe move the hinge. I'll make it a little higher up than what I had drawn. Then in here, he's got like molars. The way to get my scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Yeah, there is. Actually, there is. You can, where is it? There's a video on it. Ask ZBrush. Is it in? Oh my gosh, I can't remember where in the menu it is. Here, let me grab the video for you. Ask ZBrush, mouse wheel zoom. There it is. I get it. It's easy peasy. You just map the mouse wheel to the zoom keys. Rocks on rocks in salad on pizza and cookies. Sound of rock chewing. It would be awful. It would. I hate it too. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for these villagers, though. Not gonna lie. Like, they're, like, every, like, decade or so, they have to deal with this dude corrupting and chewing the land around them. Like, they have no idea how to slay this guy. There's no guidebook on how do you slay. How would you slay this? I don't even know. You don't have nukes. You can't just nuke it. There's no nukes. There's no high fantasy magic like that. How would you would you kill it? It's giving goat. What's up, Patrick? How are you? Guys, if you don't know Patrick 4D also streams here. You've probably seen him though. He does all the cooking. The ZBrush cooking. He's got a kitchen. He's a hella good at cooking in ZBrush. Maybe in real life too, I don't know. I have to save. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Feel so bad. I'm gonna have to say sorry to Rodolfo. I didn't even see him in the chat earlier. Your career is an overcompensation of the fact that I cannot cook in real life. Dude, if I'm gonna be real, I wish that I could overcompensate that way too, because like my cooking is not good either. But your last one, the pizza, the pizza, those the Chef Boyardee things. Even though I don't like Chef Boyardee, I really don't. But I love raviolis. So when you did the pizza raviolis, I was just like, ooh, hungry, so hungry. Literally reads the friend DA out loud. Oh my god! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My brain, dude. You know what? Whatever. I didn't sign anything. You can't sue me. Can't try. My god. Whatever. Also, you put it in chat. I'll fight you. The hell is that? Literally puts in chat a friend DA. Weird. This guy is mogging. Getting mogged on. Okay, I think that works pretty good. It was just a typo, yeah. No. The iPad version is still under NDA? Yes, it is. That one's actually, I can't because I signed something, so I actually can't say anything about. Maybe Patrick can though, because like, you know, he seems to be breaking a lot of like rules on NDA. NDA my butt, dude. Typing it out in chat and then being like, oh, what did you do? What did you do? Oh, spell iCup. I always knew you were a fake friend. Fine, I'll call mine. I'll call mine. Imagine calling your lawyers and being like, well, this guy said, you know, said something publicly that apparently I wasn't supposed to read out loud. He said it was a friend DA. Imagine the looks you would get from this. Oh my god. I think the backs of these guys are thicker. Thick. See how it goes and find out who will win between A3 and starting like a feud. I don't have the money. I don't have the lawyer money. No. I'm gonna have to GoFundMe for that. Help me. I'm being sued by Patrick Forty for breaking a friend DA that he already publicly posted in chat. Cornered me. It's not fair. What's that? Like, he set me up. What's that called in lawyer speak? You know, there's a word for it. I'm just like unable to recall it right now. Entrapment, yes. It was entrapment! He just got them tiny little legs, which I'm gonna attach a little bit better, I think. Better quads. But he's got these tiny legs because, I mean, like, most of it is front body action anyways. He's not like he's flying or running or anything. He is literally just digging his whole life. Digging. You will order a Zoot display arm. Oh yeah, those. Dude, Patrick's setup is insane. It's insane. You would beat it, Rodislav, by building a wall around it. With what? With what? You also, how would you do that? How? He would burrow through the wall. There's no way. There's no way. A wall wouldn't work. Also, if you're a villager whose village was just destroyed for like another decade because this dude is just burrowing around and making earthquakes around you, what material are you going to use to build that wall? That isn't a solution. All right, keep lifting my pen a little bit too high. It's just like a habit that I have, lifting the pen too high off of the Cintiq. Looks like something from Diablo 4. That is a compliment. I love that. Thank you. I love Diablo 4's art style. Didn't start the new season yet. I'm too invested with Smaugust. gonna create like sort of like this it'll resemble loose skin, but it's like rock, right? So it's like the idea with his skin too is it's like kind of regenerating, like these crusts fall off and underneath is more of like an actual flow of lava, like a slow moving lava flow. To come back as well. Gotta have like some sort of a whoosh, you know? This one inwards. Leave some space for this like arm to be able to like, we need this arm essentially to function like it can go back like that, because it would be digging, you know, it would be going like forward and backward, like he's swimming through dirt. So maybe push this guy back here. That. That mountain. Also in Latin, that's the sleeping tremor. I've been like just giving everything Latin names. Like, I don't know how to name these things. The dormant tremor. Hi, Andre. Yeah, what foundation would you put that wall on? I don't think so, man. The villagers can't. They gotta get the king involved with the plea. Say how this will be the best like never before. Not even. Oh my god. Okay. All right. I want to avoid anything and everything to do with like allegiance to politics right now, please and thank you. My brain, dude. Absolute rotted. But at the same time as like, you know, writing these little lore bits, I'm creating like I'm kind of like doing a, like light world building as well, so I'm creating different zones and stuff. This guy reigns over the Southern Heights, like a southern mountainous region. I'd assume kind of similar to that in like or in and around Chile, like that mountain range. And then the voltaic dragons, the thunderdrop dragons, swarms, are on these islands that are literally just plains. Like it's just a lot of plains, and they were known for like livestock. But now it's just full of like constant storms, and all of their livestock is just absolutely desecrated. Like there's no way to like do anything, and all of the villagers on the on Fyther's Islands have gone into the coastal caves. Yeah, the Andes, exactly. You're all the way from South Africa? Amazing. Welcome. Welcome. God, I don't know if you can hear Monty snoring. You're thinking of changing careers to a technical artist. Any advice? Tech art is needed like everywhere, so it's not a bad idea. You're new to sculpting and you're really confused about when you should dynamesh your model. You tend to re-dynamesh a lot and you're not sure if that's a good thing. Any advice? Re-dynamesh when you basically like when you need to add more topology to an area. Like Dynamesh doesn't really have any rules with it. You can do it like you can use it whenever you need to. Just to add more resolution to certain areas. Just keep in mind if you're like going like ham in one area but you're leaving like the other, like for example, like I'm doing kind of everything at the same level of detail and then I'll move forward up to like I'll step up in resolution. That's how I think about it. Like you go until you can't add any more details. I don't know. Can you guys hear that? He's so loud right now. He's snoring so loud. But yeah, you go until like you can't add any more details, and then you do a step up in resolution. If you're like constantly dynameshing, I don't really see if there's like a you don't really have to always be dynameshing. You just dynamesh when you need to add more resolution or in a certain area. If it's too like crispy like this, then I'll dynamesh, right? Oh. Like here. Resolution dynamesh it really quick. Then you can start working on it. Yeah, tech art. If you're going into tech art, just like it's needed pretty much everywhere. So it'll be an easier way to get like a position in like anything in the industry because everybody needs tech artists. And I think good tech artists like are familiar with a wide range of programs and also just like get like some programming under your belt as well, I think would be good. What's up, Shader? Is subtool projection similar and quicker than retopology in traditional? Subtool projection similar and quicker. So subtool. So you mean like reprojection in ZBrush? So you don't use that for retopologizing, right? Like so if you retop like a high res mesh, if I were to retopologize this and then use this high resolution to reproject onto that lower resolution with subdivision levels, that's absolutely it's a great workflow in general. But yeah, reprojection using with these subtools like this reproject, this is not a remesher itself. This is to take details from a higher resolution mesh and make sure that your lower resolution mesh with its subdivision levels match up to that higher resolution. It's just to shrink. It's basically a shrink wrapping. Like it's not a remesh. It's just shrink wrapping. Step this up a little bit. It's like these, this one could come back further. Okay, that's awesome, Shader. Hi. I am well. I'm doing very well. Guys, I think we're gonna like whoops. The villagers can also try to go metal free, get all the metal out of there, go back to a simpler way of life. See, that also won't work because they already are metal free. They give all of their metal to this thing to try and get it to go to sleep. They already are metal free. I gonna finish this model today? Oh, probably not. This guy is like, this is a big dude. This is a big dude with a lot of rock texturing going on. Like, I don't think I'm gonna finish it, but I'll get like I'll get the main like body and everything. Where'd I get the concept? I drew it. I made it. You wonder what he uses them for? He uses them to, like, so you can see it's got burrowing claws. If you're interested, by the way, oh my god. Again, lifting my my stylus up, sorry. If you're interested, here, I'll give you like here, check it out. I wrote like some lore and everything. I'm also posting these on like, I'm posting them on all my socials if you're curious. But yeah, I'm doing like light world building for Smogist or whatever, which is just like make a bunch of dragons for August. It'll probably continue past August just because like I'm doing them every couple of days, just because of time's sake. But this was the first one, so it was the prompt word was tectonic, and then day 2 or the second prompt, I'm not going by days, but the second prompt was voltage, so I did like a whole swarm type dragon that's electric. But yeah, you can follow along. I'm having a lot of fun with them though, like in general. Like thoroughly enjoying making these dragons. The next one is cephalopod. That's gonna be cool. Hell yeah, dude. Lava monster. What program do you like to draw my concepts? So I've just been using Photoshop, but I know that there's like controversy around Photoshop, but it's like there's also like Krita as well if you don't like if you want something that's free to use. Krita is actually pretty good for, actually more than just pretty good, like it's really good for drawing. There's also like Clip Studio, that one's not free, and then Procreate, Krita, and Photoshop are the ones that I have experience with. Clip Studio only a little bit, but those like 3 are ones that I go around, jump in between, because like I have my iPad as well, so I do like drawing on that too. This would fit right into a game. You like the ambush idea, like, you know, like how they'll just like go into a cave, they won't realize, oh, this isn't a cave, this is actually just like the wing structure closed while it's sleeping. Oh no, I Dynamesh too high res again. Yeah, the idea for like this light world building that I'm doing too is it like basically all of the dragons are reigning over certain areas, and there's issues that they're causing in said areas. And there's like associated like quests or warnings of those areas because they're terrorizing just by existing. Like they're not, most of them are not malicious, they're just existing in their environments and reigning over that area, but it's causing issues for the nearby villages. And so like that's sort of like the theme that I'm going for every single one of the dragons. how difficult or different is it to sculpt from a concept instead of the sculpting you saw making most of the time from ZBrush? So you have an interesting starting shape. Is it harder, easier, more fun for you? Just different workflow regarding the creative process behind it? Yeah, I would say it's just different. So with this one, like you saw, like when I'm still using like the snake hook brush and stuff just to pull shapes out. But for the most part, because I've already drawn it, like I already established the shapes, I don't have to really, like, I don't have to worry as much about thinking about like, oh, what's an interesting starting shape or anything like that. I already have figured out most of the design. Now I'm just refining it in the 3D space. So it's like, I find both ways fun and enjoyable. But when I've already dictated what that's going to look like in a design, like I did with this one, you'll see me putting out like a whole bunch of primitives at first, which is exactly what I did because I just wanted to like block out the whole like body and the whole shape of the creature. And then any kind of like snake hook use that I'm using is really just to do like fingers and things like that. But it's not really like, it's not to create something totally new. When I'm working on something totally new, pulling and pushing weird, crazy shapes right out of the bat gives me some sort of like cloud watching experience, you know, like how you can look up at clouds and try and find a shape and you're like, ooh, that looks like this or that's like kickstarting your imagination. So it's applying the same kind of an idea into ZBrush. Same way if like you were to just start scribbling shapes and then you try and find something within those shapes that you just scribble down on a piece of paper, same thing. So it is a little bit of a different workflow, but it's all just to kickstart the imagination, in which case the refining process comes anyways afterwards. You're just replacing the 2D drawing stage, which I did already. You're replacing that in 3D. So you're doing the same thing, but in 3D. You can, you know, they're just different. And I find in 2D, I could do like a lot of sketches really, really fast, but in 3D, you can kind of like hone in on something faster than in 2D, I find. But that's like a personal preference thing too. Or not preference, but because I like both. And it just really depends on the occasion, the flavor of the day, which if I'm going to be drawing something, painting something, or if I'm going to be just going into ZBrush. These like top bits, they're also like lava structures. However, I was like looking off of the giant's the giant's causeway or something like that, where it like they create like these really cool geometric structures. I feel like it's kind of overdone in concept art now. Like I feel like everybody's just kind of like, oh my god, that exists, and then everybody's using it. So I wanted to use those kind of like geometric structures in more of like a sort of like lava type way, and just like to direct some like scapula sort of area. Because like again, like he's digging, right? So wouldn't that lava kind of like get pushed up as well as he's like doing a lot of this? So I, you know, if his skin, this is my thought process, right? Like, so if his like hardened rock skin is like constantly regenerating, right? Because it's lava, wouldn't it also be dictated on the movement that he has while he's digging. So with his arms being like moving so much, wouldn't this kind of go up and out as well? So it helps with that design too. That's sort of what I was thinking about. All right. Struggling a bit with finding an inspiration and being motivated, so it's interesting to get real. Oh yeah, getting motivated, getting inspiration and things like that. I think they're two different things. So inspiration can come at any time, but you don't necessarily need and you shouldn't rely on inspiration in order to get started on something. The thing is, you just kind of need to start working on something. Literally just start scribbling anything. Just make your hand move on the page. Motivation comes from doing. Literally just doing and pushing through that like teeth grating, like, oh my God, like I don't know what to do. Like try to relax and try to accept that you're going to make ugly drawings or ugly sculpts. And that's kind of part of the process, is to just do a lot of ugly stuff until you're like, hey, you know what? I finally got an idea out of that. And then you can grow on it as well. Because relying on inspiration, it's like, it's one of those things that just like, it comes at like 4 a.m. or something like that. And you're like, oh, I all of a sudden really need to draw. It's like, it's not a good way of operating, especially if you want to create things on a more consistent basis. So you should work off of as much as you can anyways. I know this is not realistic for everyone. And like, even myself, I'm kind of just saying this right now because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm not inspired, right? But the idea is that motivation creates also inspiration, right? It's like a feeding cycle. So you have to like start with action, then it leads to motivation, which leads to inspiration, and then it feeds itself and you get the train rolling that way. Otherwise it's you're just kind of like you're waiting for the heavens to part and a beam to shine down on you, and that's not really realistic. How do you feel about using Z-spheres versus primitives? You find it hard to separate the model into subtools if you start from Z-spheres? Z-spheres actually, like, so I don't use them a lot for creating an entire model. Like I'll use them for like, you know, like wings really quick or something like that. But if you want to split things into subtools, every single section that you create with the Z-sphere creates a different polygroup. So you can use those to help section things off. Or, you know, if you're using Z-spheres, you can just use your masking like you would with anything else. So you create that adaptive skin, and then you can use masking and then split by masked points for anything that you need to start moving around or splitting off. Okay, before I continue with this, I really need to go to the bathroom and take like my quick break, if you don't mind, and then I'll be back and I'll keep going. Okay? Tidy, tidy. I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes. BRB text. There we go. Okay, BRB. Okay, I'm back. Look. He's got allergies, so I'm not gonna, like, bother him with his, like, little thing on, but here he is. Here's the boy. Here's the boy. He didn't want to be picked up, so I'm not gonna, like, annoy him. But he's here. He's here. Here, come here. Yes! Yes! Hi, Gorbulin! Jasper's got his cone too. I know, it's just like, he'll go like a few weeks without it, and then he'll roll in something outside that has like pesticides or something. I'm like, put it back on you until your spots are all cleared up. Holes. The vents here, there's actually technically 2 of them. There's 2 vents. And they converge, like at least like meet up. But it's technically just 2 vents that look like one. Jasper's a happy boy. We just had the cone in front of him and he sticks his head in. Yeah, Monty does that too. Aw, such good-ins. They're so good. Because you know that it's not like an enjoyable experience either, but they're like, oh, okay, well, this has gotta happen, I guess. In the cone I go. It's not a cone of shame to them, though. They're like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's that time of year. Sorry. This entire thing right here be a piece. The cone of joy. Yes. Oh yeah, that's, well, I mean, for him, he's got like, you see, he's got a donut, so he doesn't have the cone. We got rid of the cone. We just give him a donut now, and he can kind of like get the tips of his toes and the back legs, but it's just this, you know, anytime he's licking his toes, it's just say, hey toes, hey toes, and then he stops. Hey, Mr. Toes. A rare occurrence. Wait, see? He's fluting. You see? Can't get my camera up. He's doing the little leg out. Wait. Ah, no, it's gotta go this way. Do you see his leg? Yay! His little leggy is out. Hi, Ian. How are you? How's it going? Also, if you guys don't know who Ian is, you should know who Ian is. Ian is a very, very talented ZBrush instructor and sculptor. Does teach quite a lot on this channel. Isn't enough blockout. Let's make this. So these two should be able to fit together. So I'm going to push that in. Essentially, these two would be able to like at the top to create one big. Like, if I were to push these together, I'm not going to be able to do that here, but once I split everything off, then maybe I can do a little bit of like a fit test. Did I do the concept art for this character? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm doing lots of dragons in August and probably onwards, like these design sheets, and doing light world building for them as well. Because it's so much fun. It's so much fun. So feel free to follow along if you want more dragon action. Thanks, Ian. Glad you like it. I liked it a lot. It really is like a lot of fun to just design dragons for yourself. Finally using my design skills for something that isn't related or just like, what's it called? Like actually starting in 2D first rather than always like just doing the 3D stuff on this stream, starting my design and then refining that design in ZBrush afterwards. Yeah. Fun. Both ways are fun though. Feel so bad. Rodolfo's showed up like an hour ago, and I didn't say hi to him. I completely ignored the chat. I need to go and apologize. Beg for forgiveness. My utter rudeness. Rude streamer. You want to sculpt this? Oh my god. Yeah, okay, if you want to sculpt any of the designs that I do for like these dragons, any of them, guys, if you want to sculpt them, I would actually love it if you do an attempt and then like tag me. Like, just all you have to do is credit me. If you want to use any of the design sheets that I use to do like your own sculpts, just yeah, credit me, and then I would like to see, like, I want to see it. Like, tag me if you do. That would be so cool. I don't mind at all. You want to go? Yeah, go for it. Go for it, man. That would be so cool to see like other people's interpretations. I'll never like if you want to. Yeah, the only thing that I need from any of that is to just be credited, right? Like I don't really like I don't mind at all. It's so sick seeing like your like other people get involved in your work is always really fun. So if you guys are inspired by these, like hell yeah, get on it. Sculpt away. Time to look at fun designs. Yes, man. The next one that's coming is going to be based on the cephalopod, so that'll be an interesting sheet as well. But expect them to come at like maybe like a weekly rate rather than like daily. Maybe a little faster sometimes, but just because of like time purposes. Like I have to do other things. Like this week, I'm finishing up my CGMA course for ZBrush stuff. So once that's done, I'll have a little bit more time. No. I teach with CGMA, like the intro to ZBrush. So Michael Pavlovich did a bunch of intro videos, and then I do like the mentoring, homework feedbacks, live Q&As, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're trying to pick up ZBrush and you'd like a mentor or something, the next time we've got another semester starting in October, and it's just a 4-week long thing. Only 4 weeks, but it's just the intro as well. So there's also another course that I did teach before the intro one, but I don't teach it now. Now it's just strictly Michael. But that one is concept and iteration inside of ZBrush. That's also at CGMA. You'll tell Rodolfo that I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like my so I haven't like streamed in like a month now, and I'm like, oh gosh, I keep looking down at my sculpt and not looking at chat. That's my bad. I'll have to get reused to it again. Thank you for telling him that I'm sorry. I always feel bad for ignoring people. I don't do it on purpose. Let's see here. Mustafa, what course I didn't yeah, so I just, like I said, I was doing the intro to ZBrush to help people get into using ZBrush. It's like a lot of the basics. Take these. I'm gonna take these and like push them out a little bit more to make them wider on the inside. So right now, like, I really don't care if I'm like using weird pieces and stuff like this, because the idea is that I will just be splitting everything off afterwards anyways, as I need to. So I'm just creating space as I see fit. It's wider. Hi Ryan, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. How many of your sculptures have you been featured has been featured as a screensaver in ZBrush? I don't know. I actually need to get back onto posting on ZBrush Central, because the thing is, they'll use ZBrush Central top row kind of things. So if you make it to the top row, sometimes you make it into the screensavers. I know for the installation, because I was like a beta tester a couple of years, a few of my sculpts have been used. Sometimes for the installation screens, not lately. I wasn't involved with the beta like in the last one. So there's some really good sculpts in the top row of ZBrush Central. You're new, still learning ZBrush? Well, this is a good channel to be on to learn. There's a lot of different types of artists that stream here, so you're in a good space. The idea as well when I was designing this guy is that whatever position he's in, there is some sort of a mountain kind of silhouette that's happening. So like the wings being like this, there is a little bit of like a mountainous like silhouette. When his wings are closed, right, you still have, it turns into a mountain. So I wanted to keep that. So I made the whole bottom part of him quite small, so that he maintains that like that rock formation structure, like it's all like pushing up that whole lava flow, that lava bed. So like these these plates here, they're very much like big slabs of flow, like hardened flow that run off from the tubes themselves. Around the tubes here, you can see what I'm doing. Like these two are actually distinct. This tube and this tube, they're two separate tubes, but they can join to form this structure. Then there's an underlying, which isn't really depicted here because the wings are closed, but underneath I'm thinking that there's like a rock structure as well. Can join these. I'll have to play with that once I start separating things. Starting out at 3D modeling, what PC configuration would you recommend? i7 or i5? If you're just starting out, like whatever works for your budget, honestly, like you don't need the craziest PC that you can get. I mean, the better the the better equipment that you can get, the higher resolution that you can work in and all that kind of stuff. But when you're first starting out, like the idea is to keep things pretty simple anyways, unless like you're going for something like hyper realism right out the gate and you're taking like a whole bunch of courses and stuff like that. Like you can always upgrade later, so whatever works for your budget. I'm currently using like a 2070, so I'm not using like the highest end graphics card, and then my processor is a what am I using? I haven't even looked at it in forever. Hold on. I have it written down. Yeah, a Ryzen 9 3900X series. So it's nothing like it's a good processor, but it's not like the newest one, right? Also, for the question shader earlier, if you're still here, the music, yeah, I just kind of turn off music now for these streams. So if you want music, you can put on your own. Because I kind of wasn't vibing with the copyright free stuff. Working on Vulkan code, nice. What are you coding in Vulkan? Yeah, I need to put in another separation here. And take these. A hover tank? Sick. Sick. Hover tanks are sick. Can't go wrong with hover tanks. Put these together. I'm gonna have to think about that. What kind of music do I listen to? Right now, some pretty like chill electronic, like indie music. But I'm listening to Big Wild right now. But it varies. Sometimes I'll listen to something more like heavy metal. Times more chilled like this. So these, like, you can see what I'm kind of doing is creating structures that go over top of each other, like these big slabs. But I'm not separating anything because it's just easier for me to kind of figure out how it works when everything's together and then separate it afterwards. This one needs to be quite long. You moved to Twitch for your emotes? Hell yeah, dude. Oh yeah, you got the Deadpool emotes. That's sick. Wait, you got the Deadpool emotes? And I've got, got some, I've got one of these guys right here. Well, yes. Oh yes. A foot. That brings you back. I know. I really gotta go back. I keep saying like I gotta go back. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. I asked earlier, like, would anybody be interested in drawing streams? Or just you just want to see ZBrush on my personal channel if I were to go back? You would like drawing streams, so not just ZBrush? Okay. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. No promises. Hi, Master. Dude, you should. Yeah. You should. I'll come hang out on your streams when I see them. When I see they're live. Yeah. Big mountain wings. I think we're getting there. I think his head is still okay. I gotta make his head wider still. Take both of these and stretch. And then where's his eyeballs? Where them balls be? There they are. Oh yeah. These guys right here. So let's turn the horns off. Let's start refining this a little bit better. So we want these. Okay, hold on. These to come forward more. Actually, yeah, have them kind of like, yeah, no. We want this for sure. Bring this back. This like comes way up. Have I ever 3D printed any of my work? Other people have 3D printed my work, but I have not 3D printed my own work. I don't have a 3D printer. That would be so cool. I can't. Not where I am right now. All right, to look at the side view here, I need to turn the wings off. Where are these wings? Wings, there we go. All right, let's like focus on trying to get that like silhouette that I had drawn. Something similar. Nice. Oh, the bots are here. That's how you know you made it, boys. Have I ever, yeah, okay, got that one. Am I using a screen graphics tablet? Yeah, I'm using a, Wacom Intuos, no, I'm not using an Intuos. What am I saying? Oh my god, brain, what? Reset, reset. Using a Cintiq, Wacom Cintiq, thank you. Ooh. Yeah, I'm like, in the concept that I drew, put these teeth, like, to still too hurt. That, and these guys, I need them to, like, bend inwards more, but, like, kind of a little bit more natural. That back. Mm. Now, at the joint, right? Nom 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 nom. How did I reduce the size of the texture, alpha, and stroke buttons? When you reduce the size, they still get big and you don't look okay. So when, like, let's say you were to go over to stroke, you can actually drag one of these. So I dragged the smaller version, not the big one. Same with brush. where is it? Brush. So I dragged like the smaller version right here. I dragged this small, oops, you can't see. The smaller version that's selected onto my UI. Not for the brush though, I made that big. But you can. And then with like alpha, there's a small version rather than a big version, and I just use those. Use a Huey on tablet. It's good for what you do, but the pen is all wrapped in masking tape. Dude, that reminds me, like, because yeah, I totally know what you're saying. Right before stream started, actually, this is a little precarious right now. My mic shock mount busted, so you can't see it. It's out of frame, but I have a whole bunch of like zip ties holding it up right now. I have to buy another one. I feel like this is starting to get the essence of the drawing. Honestly, I'm more like proud of myself that I was able to get something that could be translated into 3D so quickly in 2D. Hell yeah, look at me go. Hell yeah, get it. Ian's just, you're such a hype guy, man. You're such a hype guy. You need to do more streams that fit with my schedule so that like I can come and I can hype you. I like supporting my friends too. I'm gonna come support your streams. Just stream more. Just stream more. Stream more. So I can be your hype guy. How big is my HDD? Do I run out of space? Oh my gosh, dude, I run out of space so much. I have so many drives. I've got a bunch of like 500 gig SSDs, and then I've got like a couple of terabyte hard drives. And then I need to get some more externals just to like start dumping things on. Because of like the BS that is AI, just completely making search engines almost like unusable in some cases for like reference finding. I've been saving any kind of like cool real world reference that I've been coming across just for, it's like I don't have like a robust library, but it's like good enough. Just for my own purposes. And that is taking up space. Focal length, 5 field of view though. We're gonna do some big field of view. This guy's big, man. That doesn't seem right, actually. Be like, yeah. It's not gonna work right. I'm not gonna do this. Heck it. I'll just send it to Keyshot. That's what I'll do afterwards to check. It's usually what I do anyways.
Thank you, master. Thank ya. Backing. Becking. Becking.
I think, okay, I'll soften that one. Use these guys. And then I'll duplicate that down so I get that second row. You saw that your 1 terabyte is full, broke your heart. I know. I know. It's so. Need infinite amounts of space, man. Never enough. Dig, dig, swim, dig, dig, swim. The metal muncher. Push this in more to give it space. Dragon dancing the Macarena. Yeah. This guy would move very slow. Can't see him doing the Macarena. He would just do the Macarena at like he would just be kind of cringe while he's doing it, you know? It's like somebody trying to do the floss. Save real quick. Maybe music is the way to vanquish him, making him fall on his back due to his short legs and stay stuck forever. You know what? You might have a point. Maybe it is. Maybe you need to get him to somehow fall on his back. I don't know if that would be super successful because I think he would just use his vents to make lava and kind of create a pool in which he could swim out of it, you know? So I don't know if that would be the way. Okay, but how would you do that, Master? Like, you know, as the villager, how would you use that as a solution? Like, what? How would you do that? Bring a ton of mini ice cubes with a slingshot. Oh, to stop a lava monster? That's insane, man. You're not allowed to fall back on like high fantasy magic or something, like call in the mage. No. That's not this world. We don't do that in this world building. We're using practical things to take care of these fantasy monsters. How would you, as a medieval peasant, handle this? I mean, maybe you could have like an ice sword. Maybe we could do a little bit of light weaponry fantasy magic. But everything is explainable, okay? So how would you handle as a medieval peasant? Thanks, software! Welcome back, warrior! Popsicle sword. See, practically speaking, like, no magic. How are you handling this beast, man? Without just offering him metal to make him go back to sleep. To add to his metal hoard. Humanity number 1. Okay, no mage. Well, I need help, but dumping a lot of cold water on it as it vented some kind of trap would probably do the trick. How would you get that much water? Bro, have you seen the size of this thing? Wait, I have to put like a, I have to put scale next to him. Scale is like... the scale, that's like a person. Yeah, here, you can go look at the at my drawing. You can see the scale there. It's like a small mountain. Small, like part of a small mountain. Solution is to just wrap it in paper. Paper wins against a rock. Okay, fair, fine. But wouldn't you say that he has part scissor as well? So would that work, really, with that logic? Because look how sharp parts of him are. Well, Dirk the Daring. You would practically break the fourth wall there, viewers. It's about to go down, grab the world's ugliest puppy, throw her on my back, grab a spear, and charge straight for the mouth of the cliff. Go out in a blast of glory. What? Grab the world's ugliest puppy? That sounds like something Deadpool would say / do, so... You know. You're like, I can't do this, man. I can't do this. As a medieval peasant, I don't know why I was stuck in this horrific world. This is unfair and stupid, so I'm just gonna talk to you, the audience, and let you know that this is dumb. Where's an ugly puppy? We need that. Just jump off this cliff. I'm dead anyways, right? How smart is it? It's not very smart. It's not very smart. It's like it's programmed. It's like it's on a track to get metal. All it does, it digs, eats, sleeps. It just wants metal. Like it just exists to destroy the mountain range and all of the metal around it just hoards as many metal deposits as it can get its grubby claws on, and it just eats and burrows. That's what it does. It's not very smart. That's like its thing. It's his whole existence. It's just I need to dig. Let's do these back legs. Make a metal crumb trail to lure it away. Lure it where? Where are you luring it? It's just gonna burrow back to where the metal is after you lure it away. Metallica, maybe some Black Sabbath. Be like, ah, yes, metal, good. That kind of metal. Yeah, the wings, it does not fly. They're lava, they're lava tubes, but it uses it as shelter as well for when it's hibernating. It creates a mountainous structure, and it just basically goes right back into the mountain. Whose side am I on? I think I'm on the side of the mountain dragon, considering I'm the one that I'm its mother, right? So I kind of have to be, the villagers are they're just a consequence. It's just a consequence of this thing existing. It's not my fault that they're suffering. Maybe they should just move. Have they ever thought of just not living in the Southern Heights and just forfeiting their home to this? It's great. I'm so happy. I'm having so much fun with these dragons, dude. The electric one, I actually really had a lot of fun creating that swarm and the island lore and everything too. About 9. I've never seen metal that rocks so hard. Yeah, he plays. All of a sudden, he becomes smart enough to understand metal music. It's oh, perfect. Now I can go back to sleep. This is my lullaby. I'm no longer hungry. I choose death and destruction. I'm not guilty of that. I'm just creating things that are just existing in their natural habitats. I mean, maybe not natural habitat. Maybe This guy just decided to, is it, maybe he's an invasive species, but still, it's a living thing. Okay. Invasive species deserve love too. You need to poison his food with rust and tetanus. Give him tetanus. I think that was somebody's so I asked Eric like how he would handle Feather's Islands, which is like the electric plains islands, like how would you get the dragons that claimed rain over those islands out, the electric ones, and he was just like, well, I just like they have to come down and eat, right? So I would just poison some livestock and then I'd wait. I was like, oh, I guess yeah. I mean, that's like a long-term solution. Because like you just keep relying on poisons. You just put rat poison down for everything. So it's a creature, it's gotta eat, so poison it. Get it out of there. That's the solution. Rat poison all of it. Precious metals on horses to get it to chase, run it off the cliffs. It's established. It's not super smart. Metal is its only concern and cannot fly. Right, but then why would it chase a horse that's going so fast? Like you'd have to ride it relatively slow. It would be a very precarious thing if there's no like, because if it goes too fast, it'll lose interest because it's slow. It's very slow. It's like slow moving lava slow. Like it digs really fast, but it doesn't run fast. You were confused when you saw my post. They look like it was the concept you were about. That's what I think a lot of people are thinking. They don't realize that I draw too. I think I need to be more clear about that. Like, hi, look, I drew this. Yeah. All right, no worries. Thanks for dropping by, Ian. I hope you have a nice evening. Enjoy your dinner. But yeah, I draw as well. I paint too. I am a concept / designer. Okay, let's save real quick. Need some of that water. That good. Hydrate yourselves. The simple answer is shoot the mothership. Or the swarm. Tear down the mountain. Oh, so as a villager, you could just move somewhere flat with no mountains. So that's easier than right. Okay, so you're gonna move. So you're gonna move to the plains, like you said. You're gonna move to the plains. Well, unfortunately for you, so annoying. Sorry. Unfortunately for you, um, the plains are occupied right now. The plains, being Byther's Islands, are occupied by another rain. Here we go. More terror from from these guys, which are very small. They're not big. They're very small. However, it's constantly storming. The villagers everywhere are being terrorized in this world. It's just like, just move over to the plains. There's no mountains there. Okay, we'll suck it because now there's storms by the weather makers. Humans are pretty good at ruining resources in Earth, so just by being us, you would think, right? But you start to collect metal, then it will wake this thing up, and it will be like, hey, you're ruining my hoard of metal. I'm gonna just come and ruin your village again, actually. Your village is gonna get destroyed by a whole bunch of me scrounging up for more metal because you're hoarding metal. I need that metal, so I'm just gonna start, digging for metal, and that will destroy your village again. So you could build earthquake-proof homes if you have the technology, but are you going to build lava-proof homes? Maybe if you cover it all in like pineapple, get enough pineapples, cover all of your townhouses in pineapples, because pineapples, did you know, are fireproof. Your world is in fact Australia where everything, yes, but make it dragons. That's the idea. But they want to kill you in a fun, creative way, right? Red arrows everywhere on the overlay and neon sign pointing the concept to indicate clearly you did it yourself. I know. I feel like because I do a lot of ZBrush sculpting, like a lot of ZBrush sculpting, that people forget that, like, they don't. I think a lot of people don't realize that you can use ZBrush as like a concept tool itself, which I do use it as a concept tool itself. So I draw, but then I also sculpt concepts. I kind of interchange. It's all just sketchbook tools, you know? I think I would be like an extremely annoying D&D DM. But it would also be really fun, like to have little quests with like these kinds of dragons, right? And then you have like a Dungeons and Dragons like adventure per quest. Like how would you as the villagers deal with the threat of that region, the current dragon in rain, or the dragons if it's like a swarm, right? No, I don't really use the 2.5D stuff in ZBrush. SpongeBob Village, yeah. Yeah, pineapple under the sea. That would except you're under the sea. Okay, well, I have news for you because the next one that I'm doing is based on a cephalopod. There's no escape. You like the art? Well, thank you very much, Rolling Stone. Glad you like the art. Only D&C session that everyone quits in rage. It's all right. Sketchy. Do you guys ever look at like how far you've come in the last like few years of doing art, and then you're like, dang, I'm curious what I'm gonna be like when I'm 40. Like, how crazy are these skills gonna be when I'm 40? That honestly keeps me motivated, like thinking that way. Like, oh man, me in college could never imagine doing stuff like this. So I'm like, what the heck is it gonna be like when I'm 40 years old? That's gonna be sick. I think that's my favorite part now about being an artist too. I mean, it always has, but being able to create on a whim, whenever you want, whatever you want, I think is sick. Well, Dungeon Master, what would you do? No, you see, I can't tell you. That would defeat the purpose. I can point you in directions, though. Well, I'm not gonna tell you how to defeat this thing. I ain't doing that. I'm not giving you the answer. Kind of DM saying, actually, after every single attempt from players, just trying to survive, right? Like, no, but that would be such a funny session where you guys are just villagers in the village under these mountains, and this thing is starting to wake up, and the houses are starting to collapse. Oh no. That would actually be so funny. You want to play D&D with chat? I mean, we're kind of doing it. Okay, we have like 20 minutes. We could do like a verbal, like, what would you do? Like, genuinely, like, what would you do? You guys say something, and then I'll tell you what the next move is. So, okay, so you start off, you wake up one morning, you guys are a villager. All of you guys are villagers, okay? You guys are all villagers. Put yourself in that mindset. Dirty, not bathed. Village. You have like this big hoard of metal. You have gone and pillaged with you're scroungy rat people. You have no technology. Your village has been desecrated so many times. Every couple of decades, it's been completely desecrated. You have mummified remains of previous villagers outside of your village in like these like lava encased, like they're just encased in like old lava, and they're outside of your village as reminders. And you have pillaged around the area for as much, like you've stolen metal. You have traded off your offspring for metal of outside countries, because mining is a no-go, because you're gonna awaken the beast. Sorry. So you're just rat people right now. You just got a whole bunch of stolen metal, and you're like, you've got it there just for like, it's like a whole room. Like this room's worth of like armor suits and swords and anything that you could have, but you can't smelt it. You can't use it for your own village because this thing's gonna wake up again. You need to buy time so you can rebuild your village. Okay? That's the mindset. Okay? Okay. Also, the water nearby, you need to like do a lot of purification because it's very like, there's lots of lava flows and it's not great. So even bathing in it, not the greatest, but there's some nice hot springs. So there's some pluses to where you're living. Hot springs are pretty cool. All right. So you're in that mindset. You wake up in the morning, right? You wake up. Beautiful sunrise. You can hear the birds, the mountain birds. You know, they're vibing, right? The birds, they don't have to worry about anything. They don't care about metal. They don't care. And you just hear the birds, sun starts to rise. But all of a sudden, with your little wood, like rock bowl, your Stone Age bowl in your hands starts to shake. And you see these little ripples, as if it's Jurassic Park, go poof, poof, in what you're eating. Oh no, you think, oh no, it's time. You start to gather everybody for a town square. It's time, everybody. It's time. It's waking up. You have this whole room of metal. Now, what do? You are a villager. You have got your briefing that this thing needs its metal. It needs to eat to go back to sleep, but it's waking up and it's about to start digging, and that will destroy your village that you spent the whole last decade trying to rebuild. What are you going to do? There you go. That's your prompt. Go. It's your turn. Playing like this jank version of D&D. Oh man. Is it going to be enough metal is the real question. What are you going to do? You have swords, right? You've got some metal things. Give it the metal. Okay, how are you going to get the metal up to it? You know, this thing is probably, 20 kilometers away. 20 kilometers away. Up in the mountains. And this stuff is pretty heavy. What are you going to do? What's your next move? Putting big logs under it to make it roll into a cliff. Okay, but you're not there. Also, how are you going to get the logs up there? We need some action, people. We need some actionable things to happen here. It's starting to wake up. There's like charred ancient villagers outside your village that are giving you reminders of what could happen to you as well. The stakes are high. Someone should go scout it out. Are you? Will it be you? What's that in freedom units? Freedom units! So I said 20 kilometers. I guess that would be like around 15 miles, something like that, maybe. You'll take some metal thing, some water, and go into the mountains. You're gonna go and venture into the mountains? Okay. All right. Now you're imagining a scenario where this dude is a cool dude and we just let him go into the scrapyard and he chows down like the Iron Giant, right? That's true. So you could do that. So Shader's gonna go and scout for you guys and tell you what he sees. So Shader, you go up into the mountains and you see like a lot of smoke. There's lots and lots of smoke, but you don't really, like, you're not exactly sure where it's coming from. It's kind of coming like as an ambient, like there's just smoke everywhere, and the rumbling is starting to get a lot more intense. It's almost as if something is vibrating deep within the mountains. All right, see you, Master. You're putting on your nice attire to join the statues in your backyard. You're like, it's time. I lived for 10 years. It's time to die. YOLO. You're just gonna keep going, even as you're feeling this vibration of the mountains. You see a small cave opening, and there seems to be some smoke coming from it. The vibration in this area is so intense you can feel it in your bones, shaking and rattling as if you were holding a jackhammer. I'm gonna go and take a look in the cave because you don't know any better. You're stupid. You're gonna go into the cave. You're gonna go in front of him, shake the metal in front until he waves his tail and starts to play fetch. But he's not awake yet. You don't know. You don't know where he is. You gotta find him first. So Shader's going into the cave. Shader's going into the cave. And he is met with a plume of smoke so thick it starts to burn his lungs. It's so hot that he can't breathe. And it's... Alright, he runs out. But I think you found him. What do you think? You leave the metal thing behind. So you're making a small offering. A small offering is what you're saying. Get out of there, Shader. Yeah, so, okay, so you're listening from the outside as you leave a small piece of metal. And the vibration suddenly stops. Just for a split second, everything seems calm, except for the smoke is still billowing like crazy, but there's no vibration. Suddenly, after all of that calm, you're breathing a sigh of relief. The tension starts to build. This doesn't seem right. Suddenly, as if a giant plate separated from another one, the mountain opens up and reveals a big face. A big face with plumes of smoke coming from all over, from its tubes, from its mouth, and rocks and lava go flying. Do we have a banana peel? Shader, you have woken the beast. Roll for initiative. Roll for initiative. So, are you wearing? Do you still have metal on you? Do you still have any metal, or did you leave all of your metal with it? Hey, Eddie, thank you. Okay, so you left it in the cave. Okay, so it is preoccupied. it's excited by that, but it was so small. It was nothing. It was nothing. You're this big. You're this big. Look at that. Look at that scale. This was you. This was the beast. This was you. And that was the beast. Oh no. Please. Oh no. You gotta tell all the other dirty villagers in your primitive language what you've seen. Yes, so you go like, that's like your language, right? Because you guys don't have schools or anything. You don't really, you just kind of go, and you're talking to the rest of them as you realize that you've made it hungrier, and the other villagers, they're a little bit confused about what you're saying because they also don't really have language, so they're very confused, but they're getting that you're quite scared, as they're already quite scared since they remember some of the elders from decades ago, from the last rumbling, or maybe not rumbling, that's trademarked, the last tremble, the great tremble. They saw their entire families get encrusted in lava and their homes destroyed until enough of their surrounding area was consumed by metal. So they remember, and they can sense your fear. Do we have to resort to charades? Yes. It seems like there's a, if we were in person right now, I'd have all of you in the table start to try to describe without language what it is that you were worried about to each other. Yeah, so you're expressing that, but now remember, you still have this whole pile of metal, which you think might be enough to satiate the beast without it needing to destroy your entire surroundings. How are you going to tell everyone that maybe you need, or maybe you don't need this metal? What do you think? Do you think about giving it in some way, taking it up to the mountains and risking yourself and giving it? And how do you get its attention to all of this metal when it has all of these deposits throughout the mountain to use its lava and eating? I don't know what you want from me, dirty villagers. Invent a goddamn compass and coordinate system. You're gonna have to lead the charge. You're the one who remembers. You remember where it is. Do you have to roll intelligence? You seem to be pretty dumb. So I wonder what the... See, you're the thing is, you don't necessarily need language to be smart. Some of you might actually be quite intelligent. You just don't have words to express these things properly. You pull out your sword and offer it to the beast. As it lowers its head to eat, you would jump attack and aim for its eyes. The eyes, that's a good one. Unfortunately for you, you might do that and burn up before you hit the eyes, as it's a very hot beast. So how are you going to protect yourself to get close enough? He's already there. Yeah, he ran ahead of you. I don't know how he ended up finding the beast. So he kind of just sacrificed himself. The rest of the village is down with Shader though, and they don't know where to go. You make ape sounds until some people start following you, try to pick up some metal and see if they do too. And it starts to work. They're confused. They don't really know what they're doing. Like the younger ones, anyways, don't really know what they're doing. But they're following your lead. They respect you because you have soot all over your face. You look battle worn, and you look like you just came through something, coughing your lungs out. Like you mean business. Like something happened up there. And so they're like, you know what? I'm gonna follow you. So they all pick up a piece of metal. Some people are picking up doorknobs. Some people are picking up you know, pieces of fence. Some people are picking up helmets that they were able to get. Whatever they were able to find from neighboring, like, faraway villages that they would just steal, you know, like they're stealing the night from people's backyards or wherever in other villages. So doorknobs, fences, decorative iron pieces, whatever they could get their hands on, and people are picking them up and they're following you. But we're gonna end it there because unfortunately we've come up to the 10 o'clock mark, so I'm gonna have to end the stream. But this was really fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out while I sculpt this dude and even playing along with the lore that I made for him. It's always so much fun. So yes, masterful dungeon mastering, masterful. It would be really fun though to play these. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you are curious and following more of these sheets that I'm making, these designs for the dragons and stuff like that, definitely follow me on my socials. I'll give you the link to all my socials, and I'll be posting even more of these with more little like lore bits and stuff. I'm having a lot of fun with that. And if you ever want to like sculpt any of the dragons yourself, like, feel free, just credit me afterwards, and I'd love to see what you do with them as well. And also, if you don't have the link afterwards, my links are right there, acubed.art/links. I'll be posting these just, you know, just because it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. All right? Yeah, y'all died. Sorry, end of the dungeon mastering experience. You all just died. You offered the medal, it wasn't enough, and you got encased in lava. GG's. Do you have some sort of old tales for being? Yeah. So that would have been the elders as well. They would have known, but you don't have language. No schools. So if you were in person, it would be cool if you had, like, you guys could, like, charade to each other. Okay, all right, everybody, good night. Thank you so much for hanging out again. You follow ZBrush wherever you're watching, because a lot of other people stream on this channel as well, not just myself. And I will be doing a lot of, like, these, like, dragon design sheets as well that I'll be drawing and sculpting occasionally. Okay, so I'll see you guys on the next one. That'll be in 2 weeks from now, and we'll do some more dragon stuff. Okay, all right, bye.